TV3 Sports presents the 49th annual Boys Essex County Tournament. Today in the semifinals, Irvington meets Seton Hall Prep. Hello everyone, welcome to Essex County College in Newark. I'm Paul Spahala, with me Ed Lyons, and Ed, today semifinal number 1 of the ECT sees Irvington take on Seton Hall Prep, and then in the nightcap, Montclair takes on Scott. We've got 4 good ones that'll contest for the title.
Yeah, I got my picks, but I won't put them on over the air in case they don't come true.
Well, that's a good way to do it. Let's tell our friends out in the audience a little bit about this Irvington-Seton Hall matchup this evening. You've had a chance to see Irvington twice in front of the TV3 cameras. A good club, pretty deep, and they do like to run.
Yeah, they like to run, and probably they do a lot off their defense. They have the 2-2-1 press, and then they when it gets tough near the end, I thought last week they were a little blasé on defense, but they can tighten it up in that half court too. And they basically play man-to-man the entire ball game, and they pick up a lot off that press.
One of the men they'll be playing man-to-man as we talk a little bit now about the Seton Hall Prep Pirates, Chris DeMassey. He's a good man underneath.
Yes, he is. He moves around, averaging 22 points a ball game, and he shoots well from the inside. Now, he doesn't shoot a lot from outside. He's only got one three-point shot all year. He's averaging about 22 points a game. He's tough on putbacks and in and around the basket.
And Seton Hall has an outstanding sophomore guard in Ryan Peterson.
Yes, he can handle a ball. He can handle a press, and he also can go up to that foul line in those last couple of minutes, which you have to do in high school, and make those one-on-ones.
For the Blue Knights of Irvington, one of their key players inside is a fellow who we saw have a really good game last week, but an outstanding game when we did them against Cranford, and that's Roosevelt Teal.
Roosevelt Teal had 28 the day we had him in Cranford, and last week he made 2 big buckets on outstanding passes from Ramadan Brunson. Teal likes to move around inside there, and he'll go back up and hit that second shot for you, but he's got a nice little soft, say 7 to 12 footer that he pops from in and around the key.
And very quickly, you mentioned Ramadan Brunson. He is a great passer,
especially on the break, but he can pass when and Seton Hall apparently is going to play man-to-man today from what we hear, and Ramadan beats you on that one-on-one shot and come up to help out, and he'll give that ball up in a second.
Irvington has won 3 straight county titles. Only one team has ever won 4 in a row. That was East Orange, but to get to the final, they first have to get past Seton Hall. We'll tip it off in just a moment. The Blue Knights and the Pirates from Essex County College. That should be like page 42. And welcome back, everyone, to Essex County College here in Newark for today's Essex County Tournament semifinal. Seton Hall takes on Irvington here in game number 1. Game number 2, Montclair against Clifford Scott. I'm Paul Spahala, with me Ed Lyons. And right now, why don't we meet the starting lineup for the number 3 seed in the tournament, the Pirates of Seton Hall Prep. Their starting lineup will look this way today. 6'1" senior Chris DeMassey at forward, along with 6'3" senior Bill Hahn. Troy Gore, number 32, will be the center. He's a 6'1" senior. And the guards will be number 22, Ryan Peterson, a 5'8" sophomore, and Steve Ricciardi, a 5'9" sophomore. Bob Farrell is the head coach of the Pirates of Seton Hall Prep. Bob now in his 18th season as head coach of Seton Hall. 351 victories. He is the winningest coach in Essex County. For the number 2 seed from Irvington High School, the Blue Knights, we'll start this way. The forward, Roosevelt Teal. Roosevelt is a 6'2" senior. The other forward is number 30, 6'2" junior Keith Barnett. Damian Spencer will jump center. He's a 6'4" senior. And at guards, number 22, Ramadan Brunson, a 5'9" senior, and Kareem Peoples, a 6-foot-tall junior. That's the starting lineup for Larry Blasi. Larry is in his initial season as head coach at Irvington, although Larry has been with the Irvington program since 1990, served many years as an assistant to Kurt Fenchel. The Pirates come in 17-3 off of a loss on Thursday to Columbia. Irvington comes in at 16-2. Eddie, they have not played since last Saturday's game against Immaculate. They had 2 games canceled this week. So we will see whether they come out fresh or stale. That's always one of the big questions.
Yes, it is. And I noticed looking ahead, they have 3 games scheduled either way next week.
This will be the 8th matchup between Irvington and Seton Hall in the Essex County tournament. Currently, Seton Hall holds a 5-2 advantage. Seton Hall winning in 52, 60, and 64. Irvington won in 67. Seton Hall in 86, and then Seton Hall in 91, and Irvington in 92. 3 of those meetings were in the semifinal round in 92, 91, and in 52. So this is the 4th time these clubs have faced off in the semifinals. Seton Hall, of course, the lower seed. They are the 3 seed, so they are designated as the visiting team today. So they are in their road blue uniforms with the white numerals, and Irvington will be in the home white uniforms with the blue numerals. And Damian Spencer is starting today, and that was a bit of a question mark. He took a hard hit to the side of the head in practice yesterday, and then woke up and mentioned to the trainer that his throat was hurting, so he has a bit of a bout of tonsillitis. So the question will be how long he can play, and as you see, he's not even going to jump center today. Roosevelt Teal will do that.
He helps that club, Paul. We didn't see him at Cranford, but I saw him last week, and he's tough inside.
Lou Ravatini, Bob Lauterhan are the officials for today's ball game. Ravatini will throw it up again. And it's Hahn and Teal, and the tap is won by Barnett for Irvington. So Brunson has the ball, and right away the Blue Knights are on the offensive. Irvington shooting to the basket to our right. Seton Hall to our left.
Seton Hall playing that straight man, but with a lot of help in there. They play it tough.
The 222s square off. That is Peterson against Brunson, and that's a senior against a sophomore.
That should be a good matchup. I'm anxious to see that.
Brunson pulls the ball up, gives it to Teal. Teal from the top of the key.
He can make that little one-hand jump shot from right around there.
Well, Eddie, we said he wasn't going to shoot from much further out, but boy, top of the key jumper for Teal makes it 2-0. And Peterson quickly given possession of the basketball. He has 189 assists this year. Ricciardi's shot doesn't go. Rebound by Hahn. Hahn spins to his left, tied up on the jump ball. Possession belongs to Seton Hall Prep. There's the possession arrow. Paul Williams and Richard Blomquist are in charge of the clock operation today. Peterson for 3, off the rim, doesn't go, but it's tipped up and in by Bill Hahn.
Seton Hall will do that. They fool you. Damasi will be in there doing that too.
And quickly, Irvington gets it down to Teal. Teal misses, but Spencer with the rebound up and in.
He hangs on that left side over there and gets a lot of putbacks.
Irvington with a press. Ricciardi with the ball. Gets it across the timeline to Hahn, who gets it back to Ricciardi, and they quickly get it to Peterson. Peterson, nice pass to Gore, but he'll kick it back out to Ricciardi.
Seton Hall, very patient half-court offense. Try to really dictate the pace of the game.
Pass slapped away by Barnett. Excuse me, by Peoples. There is Ryan Peterson, 189 assists, averaging almost 10 a game for the Pirates.
Very good-looking young sophomore.
Hahn on the inbounds. Gets it to DeMasi, slapped away by Brunson, then off the fingertips of Peterson, so it's Irvington ball.
Seton Hall falls back, no press. They go back into a straight, tough man-to-man.
Barnett fakes his man up, takes it into the paint, launches an 8-footer, and it's good.
Against a man-to-man, they'll get those kind of shots. They weren't getting those kind of shots last week against that immaculate zone.
6-2 lead for the Blue Knights. We've played 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Peterson on the floor, now behind the back, but it's stripped away by Spencer. Spencer ahead of the field, almost lost the dribble, but then jams it home. Damian Spencer has 4 points, and it's an 8-2 Irvington lead. Kicked away by Spencer, and now the pressure of Irvington starting to get to the Pirates a little bit. Bob Farrell looking concerned. His team is down by 6, and he again watches as Irvington is going to employ the full court press.
Whenever they can, they put it on, and that time they had time to put it in, but Seton Hall beat it easily that time, up to DeMasi, and he scored.
Beautiful pass from Peterson. That's assist number 190 on the year. Chris DeMasi on the receiving end. At the other end, Barnett kicks it outside to Spencer for 3. So the man who may not have played because of the tonsillitis leads all scorers with 7. Bounce pass to Hahn. Hahn with the right hand misses. Spencer with the rebound. 11-4 lead for Irvington. Teal bumped off the play, gets up the right-handed shot, no good. Ball bounced around, finally it's Peterson who has it. He's got DeMasi on his left side, feeds him beautifully, and DeMasi has 2 field goals.
Peterson running that break the way it's supposed to be run. He kept the dribble till finally the man came at him and he gave it to DeMasi.
11-6 ball game, up-tempo game so far. Teal from the right side doesn't go. Off of Seton Hall, off of Gore. And we will get our first substitution of the ball game as Spencer will go to the bench. Majid Whitaker is in. So Spencer goes to the bench. Remember that we're concerned that he might be tired because of the bout of tonsillitis. 3-pointer is good by Peoples.
As I said last week, Peoples is their outside shooter, and today Irvington is hitting.
And with a 14-6 lead, timeouts called by Seton Hall.
Actually, we were talking before the game, Paul and I, and Irvington doesn't hit real well from the outside, but they're getting more outside shots against a man-to-man and hitting them than they did against the zone.
On Thursday evening, TV3 had a chance to televise the Seton Hall-Columbia basketball game. Turned out to be a win for Columbia, 67-57, and with that loss, Seton Hall has now lost 2 of their last 4. They lost to East Orange 4 games ago by 23, and they've lost 3 of their last 11. They were knocked off by Livingston by 4 in overtime 11 games ago, so it has not been a good end-of-season stretch for the Pony Pirates. Matter of fact, the loss to Columbia on Thursday will probably deny them sole possession of the Iron Hills Conference title. Right now they are tied with East Orange. Each team has 3 losses. Peterson, feed on the right side to Gore, off his fingertips.
The pass was good enough. He just didn't handle it. Peterson really finds an open person.
Although DeMasi on the way back said, I was more open than he was open. 14-6 the score. Whitaker to Teal.
Irvington, little weave. Nice pass by Brunson and a good block.
Good block by Hahn on the shot attempt by Barnett. Saved by Seton Hall. 8-point deficit for the Pirates. Ricciardi fakes, then goes left, gives it to DeMasi. Peterson gets it left side. Hahn, 3-pointer is good for Bill Hahn. His 18th 3-pointer of the season.
Fast pace going on out here. Both clubs are shooting well and moving that ball up and down the floor quickly.
Yeah, right now we're playing in the 60s and even 70s at this pace. It will be interesting to see if they can continue this in the second quarter. We've got 3:10 left in the first quarter. Stepped on the end line. As Kareem Peoples made the move towards the baseline, he stepped on the end line. Damian Spencer back in. Rosie Teal will get a breather. So Spencer is in with 7 points. He leads all scorers.
Seton Hall really not having any trouble with the press.
Reach-in foul called against Whitaker. That is the first foul of the game.
Majik Whitaker. A real foul shooting specialist. He hits them.
Yeah, he is hot. He has hit 19 of his last 20 free throw attempts. Inbounds, was it tipped away? Yes, it was. Spencer got a piece of it. Right away, Bill Hahn, who was inbounding the ball, said 45 touched it.
Fingernails.
And because the ball was touched and did go out at the end line, it will be now inbounded from there by Seton Hall. Hahn for three from the other side, all nets.
Looks like you have to play him.
Bill Hahn with 8. It's a 14-12 ball game.
After the timeout, Seton Hall got right back in the ball game.
Well, they found Hahn twice in a row. Whitaker fouled by Peterson. Peterson reached in. Unnecessary foul. Seton Hall not very deep, and even Bob Farrell will admit that. So they really can't afford to lose any starters in any reason, foul trouble especially.
DeMassey might have got away with one there.
Yeah, I would say about 50% of the time that would have been called a foul. So it looks like Lauderhand and Ravatini are going to let him play in the early stages. Shot doesn't go. Follow-up missed by Peoples. Then a rebound push foul is called.
Yeah, he got caught that time. That's a natural reaction. You get away with that move down the park, but you don't get away with it when the striped shirts are here.
So 45 is out, 54 is in for Irvington. Teal back in the ball game with 2:20 left in the first quarter. 14-12, the Prep with a chance to tie. They had trailed by 8.
Peterson Brunson, a good battle, but Peterson's able to get the ball up. Two quick kids.
Peterson for 3.
He
Missed.
rushed it.
Yeah, I think he thought the defender was going to be on top of him quickly, but he missed that one.
Not a good shot.
Left side, floater doesn't go for Barnett. Ricciardi with the rebound. He looks to send it up to Gore. Gore's going to go all the way, and he draws the foul against Teal. It's a 2-shot foul.
Seton Hall surprising me a little bit. Every time they have the opportunity, they're taking that break.
Off the back iron. Gore is a 66% free throw shooter.
Gets one of them.
14-13, Irvington by 1. Late stages first quarter.
The scoring tempo has slowed down a little bit. It started off like a 60-pointer, but slowed down a little bit.
That's because Irvington hasn't scored in a while, but Teal breaks that string. Teal with 4.
That's his shot, right about there.
Yeah, exactly. That's where he had such a big night against Cranford when we televised them about a month ago. DeMassey looks like he'll want to go all the way, but instead passes it to Gore. Gore too hard off the glass. Rebound DeMassey, I mean, that's Hahn. Hahn on the left side, banks it home. Bill Hahn has 10 points.
In double figures early.
The senior from Union has 10. And Irvington's lead is again 16-15, under 1 minute. Brunson fakes one, steps inside the three-point line, misses. Barnett with the follow-up.
That's where Irvington kills you. They get those second and third shots, and they make a lot of them.
Peterson brings it across, 35 seconds to go in the quarter. And Peterson called for a 5-second violation.
Ooh, that's close.
So Peterson called for the closely guarded 5-second violation. It's 18-15, Irvington by 3, 25 seconds to go.
Looks like Irvington looks to hold for the last shot.
Now, Whitaker is outside right now with 14 seconds.
Looks like that's what they're going to do. Brunson has it now.
7. 4 seconds. Out of bounds with 3 seconds to go.
And they get nothing. Not even a shot.
3 seconds to go, 18-15. Looking to get it to Peterson. Peterson tips it up. The pass was over his head. It will not count. Wouldn't even count it if it did go on the shot by DeMasi. So we'll go to the first break with the score. Irvington 18, Seton Hall 15. You're watching semifinal round action of the Essex County Tournament. Welcome back, everyone. This coming Monday, there will be no time in because of President's Day. So our next live show will be Monday, February 27th at 6:30. And we're going to be joined by Ron Sanfilippo, the athletic director of Caldwell High School, who was this year named the New Jersey Athletic Director of the Year. If you'd like to speak with Ron and me, you can give us a call at 908-636-5333. That's Monday the 27th at 6:30. 18-15, Irvington possession, and they'll be headed to our right.
There's a good help out defense by Seton Hall that time. Brunson started down the middle. DeMasi stepped in. He changed his mind.
Peterson races it down the right side. Goes underneath to DeMasi. Stripped away, but a foul on, well, I thought it was on Whitaker.
I think it's on Barnett.
No, it's going to be on Whitaker. That will be his second. 5th team foul. Seton Hall with only 1. It's a shooting foul, so DeMasi is at the line shooting 2. He's a 76% shooter.
And he goes to the line a lot.
All of our Seton Hall stats, of course, courtesy of the Sports Information Department at Seton Hall Prep. And the executive director of that department, Jeff Goldberg.
Got to get Goldie in there.
Whitaker from 15, short. New player into the ball game for Seton Hall is
Nice
Chris
pass.
DeSanti.
Nice pass.
Beautiful pass to DeMasi. And we are tied at 18 apiece.
The Hall running that break pretty well. Every time they get a chance, they run it pretty well.
Also a new player in for Seton Hall is Alex Egan. So it's DeMasi, Peterson, DeSanti, Egan, and Hahn. Those are the 5 out on the court right now for Seton Hall. Brunson with the shot, doesn't go. Hahn with the rebound. Bit of a commotion behind us as the Scott team has arrived, Eddie. So the Scotties are in the house. They will play the second game against Montclair. Peterson, ball slapped away by Brunson. Peoples had it, gave it back to Brunson. Brunson's inbound pass slapped away. Peterson gives it to DeMasi, doesn't get the roll, and the blocking foul is called on Barnett. You were right, a nice pass, and DeMasi just tried to lay it in a little soft, and it hung on the rim and came away.
That kid Peterson's a real exceptional sophomore passer, I'll tell you. He passes on the break, and he can pass off the dribble. Just hands that ball off well.
So DeMasi will shoot 2. A couple of substitutions for Irvington. Freddie McCray is in, as is Hakeem Kelly. So it's McCray, Kelly, Brunson, Barnett, and Peoples. Those are the 5 Blue Knights out on the floor. Seton Hall was going to substitute, but DeMasi is the player who will come out. if he hits the second shot.
And he does.
So DeMasi will go to the bench. Clinton Coleman, a 6-foot-tall junior from East Orange, is into the ball game for the Prep. So Coleman is in. DeMasi goes to the bench with 8 points. 19-18, Seton Hall with the lead. Brunson pass underneath, too hard off the glass by Peoples. And then a travel is called on the rebound by DeSanti. Peoples for 3, around and out.
That's his shot, too.
Teal gets it. He kicks it back to Whitaker, Brunson, excuse me. He'll go cross court to Peoples. Kelly. Perimeter passing by the Blue Knights.
And he was fouled going in.
Reach-in called against Coleman.
Going to give him a 2-shot foul. On his way to shooting.
Over at the Seton Hall bench, Chris DeMasi just can't wait to get back in the ballgame.
I was noticing that.
He's standing up and he wants back in, and finally one of the coaches says, sit down and rest.
He banged the water cooler one time.
Peoples at the line shooting 2, makes the first.
Gets them both.
He's got 5 points, and Irvington retakes the lead 20-19.
They moved that press up a little bit now. There's Brunson right on Ryan. Ryan Thompson really controls that ball. He got good hands.
Ryan Peterson. Ryan Thompson is right now on an unemployment line somewhere. The ex-center fielder for the Mets. Ahead of the field, lefty off the glass, doesn't go. Tipped in by Roosevelt Teal. Well, Eddie, I don't blame you for having baseball on your mind. I wish the real players were out there.
I saw Ryan Thompson last night on the Madison Square Garden with LaRusso.
With Francesa, play-by-play.
It was Francesa?
I thought it was. So anyway, Clinton Coleman called for the foul on the charge. DeMasi is back in finally.
While we discuss Ryan Thompson.
Well, with nothing to do, maybe he is in the backcourt for Seton Hall. He's got a lot of free time in his hand, as do the rest of the Major League Baseball players. 22-19, Irvington by 3. 5-minute mark. Barnett tied up by DeSanti. Seton Hall possession.
Seton Hall does that well. They're doubling down under, and they stop you quick with their inside defense down there.
Substitution for Seton Hall. Troy Gore is back in.
Now I know this is Ryan Peterson.
Peterson guarded tightly by Brunson.
Oh, nice pass.
And DeSanti too hard off the glass, doesn't get the roll, gets his own miss. In the paint, tried to pass it off, slept free from his hands. Brunson comes up with the free ball. Score stays 22-19, Irvington by 3, slapped away by Peterson. DeMasi comes up with it. DeMasi wants to bring it all the way. He'll pull up from 13, around and in.
That's why he won it back in the game.
He's got 10. 22-21, Irvington by 1. Seton Hall again will go to the bench at the next break. 2 players will check in. So even though Bob Farrell said the team is not deep, he is using a lot of subs here in the first half. 4 minutes to go in the half, 22-21. Brunson for 3, it's good. His first points of the night.
I was just going to ask you that. He's been very quiet.
And that might even be one of his first shots, Ed. He shot a lot last week against Immaculate and was very cold.
They were giving him the shot. They were playing that 2-3 zone, and he had the shot all day long, but he couldn't put it home.
Hahn and Ricciardi are back in the ball game for Seton Hall. Russell Melton is in the ball game for Irvington. So each team going to the bench a lot. Did it hit Kelly? Yes, it did, off of Kelly.
They don't get a clean pass inside because Seton Hall collapsing good. That inside defense. Here we go, Ryan and Ramadan.
9 players have been in the game for Irvington, 8 for Seton Hall. Peterson spins in, gives it to Gore, but it is off of Brunson out of bounds. And for the Blue Knights, Spencer back in the ball game.
Playing with Peterson, you got to be ready when you're one of those. That ball comes from anywhere and it comes quick.
And that might have been a problem early in the season until you get used to it. Again, we're 20 games in, so the team should be accustomed to each other.
Yep.
Ricciardi from the corner for 3, around and out. DeMasi tried to hit the glass, but it's taken away by Peoples. Peoples, a 6-foot-tall guard. Good to have that size at guard. Foul called on DeMasi away from the ball. He held his man trying to make the cut. First on DeMasi, 4th team foul. By the way, Irvington is over the limit. They go to the bench and Jermel Mayo is in, so that is the 10th different Blue Knight who has played. It was a good thing for Mayo that no games were played this week for Irvington. He left his uniform here last Saturday. Rebound pulled away by Seton Hall. Tournament co-director Jack Venezia picked it up, so Mayo would have had to don one of those JV uniforms had Irvington played.
Paul comes up with all kinds of little tidbits of trivia.
DeMasi stuck on the left baseline. Gets it to Hahn. Hahn will drive with a right hand. Little floating hook shot for Bill Hahn.
He's having a game. That's a shot from back in the 40s and 50s.
His first points in the second quarter, but he's got 12. Under 2 minutes now, 25-23. Irvington leads by 2. They've led most of the way.
I'm impressed with Seton Hall's tough man-to-man defense. I didn't know if they'd be able to stay with Irvington, and they have been, very much so.
Gore pulls away the miss.
Here's the duel again. Brunson-Peterson.
So far, fairly even.
Yes, sir.
3-pointer by Ricciardi, and he's fouled. So it will be a 3-shot attempt coming up for Steve Ricciardi.
Fouled pretty well. He got driven back to center court.
Now, the problem was, though, that Ed, he got the shot off, and then Mayo hit him after he had landed, after launching the shot. So Ricciardi will go to the line to shoot 3, and he is a good free throw shooter, 84% from the line for Steve Ricciardi.
Used a good adjective there, Paul, launching, because that was a launch. That was way out.
Ricciardi, a sophomore from Weehawken. Well, he is the team's leader in three-point shooting with 42.
Walks up to that foul line and just knocks him down, doesn't he?
All 3. And it gives the Prep a 1-point lead, 26-25.
I believe that's their first lead of the game.
No, they had the lead at 2019, but Irvington quickly came back, took the lead. But the Prep does have the 1-point advantage. Pass underneath, Kelly missed. Had to switch directions. He was in deep under the basket, switched directions and missed the shot. Nearing the 1-minute mark. The sophomore Peterson, the senior Brunson. 2 players hit the floor. They're back up. Peterson in the paint, misses. Spencer with the rebound, 55 seconds to go. Irvington will not hold for 1. Peoples tried to spin in. It's taken away by Ricciardi, and then Peoples is called for the foul. So Peoples with the double sin there. First the turnover and then the foul, trying to get the ball back.
Doesn't that happen all the time? A lot of times you see missed layups and the guy fouls the guy coming down. That time it happened way in the backcourt.
Terrence Robinson becomes the 11th different Blue Knight player to play.
Get them all in the first half. This guy's the wrong guy to foul.
No doubt about it. Ricciardi with the 4 he's hit in this game is 36 for 42 on the season. It's a 3-point Seton Hall lead, their largest margin in the ball game. Brunson. Oh, Peterson got away with one there.
I think so. Seton Hall still in that tough man-to-man.
Brunson loops in the pass for Spencer, doesn't go. Barnett with the rebound. He goes to Robinson for 2. 2 for Robinson. His foot was on the line.
Cuts it down to 1.
16 seconds to go. 12 seconds. Peterson wants the ball back from DeMasi. Brunson doesn't want him to get it with 7 seconds. And Peterson is fouled by Brunson on the reach around.
I'll tell you, the little sophomore is holding his own out there. He's very quick and he controls the ball.
Neither one is lighting up the scoreboard. Brunson has 3 on a 3-pointer. Peterson has yet to score, although he's going to go to the line right now. But it is their ball handling and their assist making that has been the key. And again, they're playing about dead even in our eyes right now.
That's correct. They used to be called playmakers. Now they're point guards.
Peterson misses the front end with 2 seconds to go. And we will head to the break with Seton Hall in front by the score 28-27. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. It is halftime of the first semifinal game of this 49th annual Boys Essex County Tournament. Seton Hall, on a 13-9 run in the second quarter, has taken a 28-27 lead. Seton Hall, one of the great names in the Boys Essex County Tournament. This is their 101st game in the tournament. They are 60 wins and 40 losses. This is their 18th appearance in the semifinal round of play. 8 times they have advanced into the final. They have won 4 championships. Irvington, on the other hand, is 36-32, but keep in mind that they have won 14 in a row in the county tournament. So at one point they were 22-32.
I was going to say Irvington is more of a latecomer.
They have 10 times, today being the 10th, 10 times appeared in the semifinal. 4 times in the championship game, and 3 times they have won the championship, and they have won 3 in a row. Now, of the 4 teams that are playing in the semifinal round, this is their record in the tournament in the 1990s, and of course you can see the great success of Irvington at 17-2, and as we mentioned, they've won 14 in a row. Clifford Scott has appeared, Eddie, in the final 5 of the last 6 years, which accounts for their big record of 15-5. Seton Hall 12-4, and the somewhat newcomer, at least in terms of the ECT, is Montclair 5-3. That is again their records in the tournament just in the 1990s.
Not because I happen to coach there, but I'll let you know now. Clifford Scott is my pick to win it.
They've got a good club. We saw them earlier in the year against Orange. Next Saturday, if we happen to get either Bloomfield or Mount St. Dominic, And of course, here in TV3, we hope we get both. Bloomfield playing Good Counsel today. Mount St. Dominic is playing Central. They will square off for the girls' ECT championship. And again, if either one of those teams advances, if we have a TV3 area team, you will see the ECT championship on Tuesday the 28th at 9:30 in the evening, Wednesday, March 1st at 3, or Thursday, March 2nd at 12:30 in the afternoon. Now, of course, with 4 TV3 area teams, we are assured of having a TV3 area matchup in the boys' half of the Essex County Tournament. And the boys' ECT championship will be seen here on TV3 Monday the 27th at 3 in the afternoon, Tuesday the 28th at noon, and our Deion Sanders primetime showing will be Thursday, March 2nd at 9 p.m. We're going to take a short break right now. We will be back for third quarter action right after this. Welcome back to Essex County College, everyone. As we told you at the half, Irvington has 3 times won the Essex County Tournament. In 1959, they lost in the final to Orange, 37-35. In 1992, they defeated Essex Catholic 67-53. In 93, they beat Scott 66-62. In 94, they beat Scott 70-69. East Orange is the only team to have won 4 straight county titles. Irvington is the only one to win at least 3 in a row, or the only other to win 3 in a row. Seton Hall, we told you about the fact that they have won 4 county championships. They came in 51 when they defeated Belleville 41-37. 52, they knocked off East Orange 67-44. In 56, they beat Eastside 51-48. In 91, they defeated Clifford Scott 75-55.
Well, here we go. Irvington gets the ball out of bounds, and we begin the second half. Here goes the battle between Peterson and Brunson again.
1 point Seton Hall lead as we start the second half.
He got him that time.
Well, Peterson complaining, but Eddie, that makes up for the one at the other end where he got all arm and didn't get called. And this time, I still think he got him.
Arm. Yeah,
I still think he got him.
He got him.
So that is the second on Peterson. And really no one on either side in foul trouble.
Looked like Brunson was really looking to just take him one-on-one there and get that short jumper, and Peterson got him on the arm.
Yeah, I think maybe Larry Blasi wanted to test that out. If it worked out well, do it the rest of the half, and if it didn't, go back to what they've been doing.
Looks like they're trying to tighten up that zone press right now.
Peterson picks the ball up, then gets it cross court to Hahn. Hahn to the Massey. Ricciardi for 3 off the iron. Spencer, Brunson, Peoples, Teal, and Barnett. The same starting 5 for Irvington. And for Seton Hall, it's the 5 that started on the beginning of the game. DeMassey, Hahn, Gore, Ricciardi, and Peterson.
Spencer
for 3. Off the front iron, off the glass, then miss. Slapped away on the rebound attempt by Peoples.
They look like here comes that press again. They got Teal, the real big man, right up front. He's playing Hahn, who got off to a quick start with 10 in the first quarter.
Ricciardi breaks the timeline, gets it to Hahn. Back to Ricciardi. Brunson is playing Peterson much tighter now. Spencer just pulls the ball away from Gore. They get it up to Barnett.
Looks like what you said, playing tighter, Paul. Looks like they're trying to deny the ball from Peterson.
Ball goes, no, so called the travel. Travel called on Barnett. Let's check the next time, this time down. It appears as if Brunson is playing right in Peterson's back pocket.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the ball away from him, make somebody else bring it up the floor. And DeMasi does.
Now Peterson's free, but no one saw him cutting. Brunson with the steal, quick hands.
Yes, sir.
Spin move, doesn't go. Tapped up, and the foul is called on the rebound by Kareem Peoples.
Irvington's so aggressive on that offensive board that they get a lot of those. They come flying in and sometimes out of control, and you get that rebound foul. Yeah, Brunson is really trying to deny him the ball. No, he's got it this time, and he sets up their whole offense.
Ricciardi, right baseline, tied up. Possession arrow, still Seton Hall's ball.
That's a tough call. That could have been a two-shot foul.
Yeah, but the officials are letting the players decide it right now.
Yes, they are. Last week, too. Both games have been well officiated.
Shot doesn't go by Hahn. And then from behind, Hahn is called for the reach around. I'm sorry, Gore. Gore was called for the foul. That is only his first.
Irvington, I've seen them twice. They look like one of those late second half teams. They tighten it up after playing loose in the first half. Seton Hall has played the same dogged defense all the way.
Eddie, you're right. The two times we have seen Irvington this year against Cranford and last week against Immaculate, they came back. Earlier this year against Dickinson, they were down by 19 at one point, came back to win.
Same thing happened to him last week. The ball's up on that rim and won't go in the third quarter over here against Immaculate last week. They had it up there 3 times. It wouldn't go down.
Beat Immaculate in overtime last week, 56-54. And a blocking foul is called on the inbounds. Foul will go against Roosevelt Teal. Last week, Irvington defeated Immaculate in overtime as Damian Spencer and Roosevelt Teal each had 2 field goals in the overtime. Seton Hall defeated Westside 54-57. Peterson had 5 of his 7 points in the final 6 minutes. Broke a 42-42 tie. Right here, it's 29-28. Irvington leads. Irvington is the only team to score here in the third quarter, and we're almost 3 minutes in.
Yeah, they changed their defense. There's another steal by Brunson. He's got a man open.
And he's fouled by DeMasi. Well, he had the man behind him.
Yep.
And I guess he felt that being ahead of the field one-on-one, he'd try to go to the basket.
It would have been a tough pass, but it looked like it would almost have been behind the back pass. But a little behind the back bouncy there, he might have got him. It was Spencer that was trailing.
Brunson has hit the only points of the third quarter. And those have all come from the line. 30-28. 31-28.
Comes that press. They're fighting that pass.
Stolen again by Brunson. That time more of an errant pass than his steal, but he came up with the ball. And then he draws the foul on Bill Hahn. Seton Hall getting a little sloppy as they're worrying about getting the ball to Peterson. And Bob Farrell, seeing that, is going to call for a prep timeout.
But Irvington came out, which is good strategy. They're trying to deny the ball to Peterson and let somebody else bring it up because Peterson was starting and initiating everything.
Seton Hall had their best season in their history back in 1990-91. They finished the year 31-1. They won their conference, they won the county title, and they made it all the way to the final game of the Tournament of Champions before they lost to St. Anthony. I believe that was a Danny Hurley St. Anthony club back in '91. That was a banner year for the Prep.
Is that the year they, I think I had the game down here, they come in and beat Clifford Scott pretty well?
And they beat Scott in the final that year by 20 points, 75-55.
Yep. Yeah, they had a good club.
Bob Farrell, 351 coaching victories, winningest coach in Essex County. 6 times under Bob Farrell, Seton Hall has won the Parochial A North Championship. And they've won the Parochial A title 4 times. Now Brunson again is doing all our scoring.
He's getting all the bounces too. 3 of the 5 fouls he put in have been wandering around the rim. He didn't get that one.
Finally with the miss, and DeMasi pulls away the rebound, but Brunson has 5 free throws in this quarter, and that's all the points that have been scored. It is 32-28.
They got Ricciardi bringing the ball up now.
Seton Hall has not scored in 3 minutes. And it's again taken away. 4th consecutive turnover. Ed, I thought this one up before the game. I got to use it. Seton Hall is playing a little of that Colin Ferguson offense. They're defending themselves.
Very good.
Ball taken away by Peoples. He gets it to Barnett. Too hard off the glass, but he's followed up nicely by Teal.
Paul comes up with those statements.
34-28.
And
Seton Hall is hurting themselves. 4 trips, 4 turnovers.
so now this is their original, this is the way they started the ball game. 4 guys lined up inside along the foul line, and there's a steal again by Peoples.
5 in a row. There's that behind the back pass to Brunson. Peoples to Brunson.
And the Irvington club is off and running.
And again, Seton Hall wants time. That will be their 3rd timeout of the game with 4:02 left in the quarter. Seton Hall has not scored in this 3rd quarter.
A good timeout. They had to do it there. They got to regroup. They've disrupted Seton Hall's half-court offense, which was all revolving around Ryan Peterson and setting up guys off the drive.
Irvington over the last 3 seasons, Ed, are 24-2, 20-1, and 16-2, and all told that is 60 wins and only 5 losses in the last 3 years for the Blue Knights.
Not too shabby.
Last year they made it into the state tournament, but were knocked out by Montclair, who of course plays in the second half of our draw today. Montclair and Scott are waiting. The winner will meet the winner of this game. Right now Irvington has the lead at 36-28.
Irvington's coming right up in that, they're almost straight man-to-man on that press now, full court. Double teaming when they have a shot.
Peterson breaks the timeline.
Another time down without scoring and just 1 shot.
Underneath, Teal, short. Hahn with the rebound for Seton Hall.
Teal didn't get the ball in good position to shoot that time. He was behind the backboard.
Could have been a double-figure lead. We have not had that yet in this game. This is the biggest margin. Irvington leads by 8, taken by Brunson.
He picked his pocket again.
And missed. But Peoples misses. But yet, Eddie, 7 straight trips. Seton Hall has not scored. 6 times they've turned it over.
Irvington's turned up the defense, but Seton Hall's gotten a little tentative, and they're not getting good shots. DeMasi wants the ball.
And he gets the basket and won the foul to Whitaker. And you saw DeMasi, Ed, and so did I.
Yeah,
he was
come on.
Screaming for the ball.
He got the guy on his back and he yelled, "Come on!" And he got the bounce pass in there, and he breaks the scoreless drought. Could be a 3-pointer.
Barnett is in. Teal goes to the bench. Massey is a fiery player. Remember earlier in the game, he was out of the ball game and didn't want to sit down.
That's a big three. They needed those.
36-31. Shot doesn't go. Peoples lost it momentarily. He's knocked off his feet, and the foul is called on Gore.
Well, they got a foul on it. I thought they might have got a walk out of it, but no.
His second foul. It's tough. I mean, Gore took his legs out. Yes, he did walk.
Seton Hall quickly getting into the foul trouble, too.
That is the 16th foul. And that is number 7. Would have been a shooting foul either way. For Peterson, it's his third.
The senior is now going to work on Peterson a little bit, and Peterson's going to leave the game.
Mike Keskowski is in. A junior from Kearney replaces Peterson. With 2:43 to go.
Brunson came out to start the third quarter, and he really took it to Peterson. They opened it up, and he took him one-on-one all quarter.
But Brunson misses 2, but the Knights take away the rebound.
Irvington is also passing up a chance that they could have salted this game away or gotten a big lead.
And they've missed their free throws, and they've also missed a couple of easy layups. Shot doesn't go. DeMasi called for the foul.
Brunson is just, it's a parade to the line. How many times has he gone up there this quarter?
1, 2, 3, 4. This will be his 5th trip to the line in the quarter. And of equal importance, Ed, that is now 3 fouls on DeMasi and 3 on Peterson.
Right.
With 2:27 to go in the third quarter. But Brunson has missed 4 in a row.
The 4? I thought it was 3. Okay.
He missed
4.
the second half of
right. You're right.
So it's 4 in a row that he's missed. So it is a 36-31 game. He could easily be double figures. Tapped up, doesn't go. Tapped again, doesn't go. Peoples misses again. And this time he makes sure. Kareem Peoples.
They were playing volleyball.
Inbounds, gets it to DeMasi. DeMasi needs somebody to give it to. Finally finds Gore. 38-31 with 2 minutes to go. And for everything that's happened in this quarter, Seton Hall is happy to be only down 7 and now a chance to make it 5.
You're right.
And they had, remember, 7 consecutive trips where they didn't score.
If Irvington come up with any kind of shooting, they would be 15 up now. They've completely disrupted the Seton Hall half-court offense with their full-court press, and then even when they get over in the half-court.
DeMasi calmly sinks his 14th point.
DeMasi is what I call a scorer. It's pretty hard to keep a guy like that from scoring.
Chris DeSanti back in for Seton Hall. He's got 14, 4 in the first quarter, 6 and 4.
He does it without a great shot, but he knows how to get to the basket, and he hits the fouls when he gets on the line.
He's a senior from East Hanover. He's got 15 points, and that does lead all scorers. Spencer back out to Barnett. Right-handed hook shot for Keith Barnett.
He's in that lane for a while, too. Here they got that straight man-to-man press.
40-33. DeMasi to Gore.
And now with all their mistakes, Seton Hall's still only down 5.
First field goal for Gore. We're under a minute and a half. 40-35. Irvington by 5. Brunson floater doesn't go. Gore with the rebound. Irvington will substitute at the next buzzer. Three-pointer, Hahn. That's his 3rd of the game.
2-point ball game with all of Seton Hall's mistakes.
Whitaker is in for Spencer. So now Larry Blasi is going to go with the small lineup. He's got 3 guards in. Brunson, Whitaker, and Peoples. He sees that Peterson is not on the floor for Seton Hall, so I think he wants to try an up-tempo game here. Brunson for three. Iron. But Whitaker comes away with a rebound, throws it away, but saved by some great hustle by Teal. Peoples for three. Back iron. And the rebound is won by Hahn.
Yeah, he does his share in there. He rebounds for them as well as score.
Well, he had 4 rebounds in the first half. 16 seconds to go. 40-38. The Hall can tie it. And what could have been a disastrous third quarter, they could go into the break even. Ricciardi will tie it at 40 with 2 seconds to go.
Irvington is a club that self-destructs.
40-40, the score at the end of the third quarter. And we will be back with the final 8 right after this. (40-40) our score as we head into the fourth and final quarter. And what an unusual third quarter that one was.
This Irvington's a hairbreadth Harry club. They really get the big lead, then they give it away or they get behind. There goes Peoples, and that's his shot, a 3.
That's a 3-pointer for Peoples. Eddie, I've been with you a long time. I've heard the Chinese defense, but I never heard hairbreadth Harry.
You never heard of hairbreadth Harry?
43-40, Irvington by 3. On the drive, Ricciardi will go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, let me change it then. I'd say Irvington is a club that teeters on the brink all the time. How's that?
Thank you for the translation. Hold on, I'm waiting for the UN translator. Okay. Ricciardi at the line shooting 2. He's almost an automatic free throw shooter.
Yes, he is.
As is Whitaker for Irvington. So keep an eye on those two as we head down the stretch in this 2-point ball game.
I don't think Whitaker's been on the line today. Up, we jinxed him, Paul.
Well, 6 of 7 is not a bad day of work for Mr. Ricciardi. It's 43-41. Irvington trying to become only the second team in ECT history to win 4 in a row. The only other to do it was East Orange. Matter of fact, that coach for East Orange has just walked into the gym. Bob Lester. Ball slapped away by Ricciardi, and he slaps it off the leg of Peoples. Bob is currently a teacher at Montclair, so I'm sure he's also here to watch some of his students who play for the Mounties. Bob will be on the call next week of the girls' ECT championship game along with James Wilkes.
Irvington again tightening up that defense.
Ricciardi draws the foul, count the basket and 1. We're tied at 43. Spencer with the foul. Ricciardi with a beautiful weight there, Eddie. He's got Spencer up in the air.
Right.
He knew he was going to get clobbered.
It's funny, all during the first half, it looked like Seton Hall's offense all centered around Ryan Peterson. He's been out for quite a while, and they came back in the ball game.
Peterson still sits. He came out of the game with about 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. And Ricciardi gets back on the hot streak at the line. He's got 9 points now.
He really throws that soft foul shot up there. There's Majik.
44-43. Seton Hall by 1. Gore had the rebound momentarily. Spencer took it away, but then stepped out of bounds. Peoples is in, Spencer is out.
When Irvington had the momentum and they kept missing those shots and foul shots, they've let Seton Hall get back in here, and now the momentum is a little bit going to Seton Hall.
Peoples called for the reach-in as the pass was going to DeMassey. Peoples with his 4th foul.
And both clubs are right up there, and it's as always. They're going to go over, and as always, it's going to be a foul shooting contest in those last couple of minutes.
All right, so let's talk about free throw shooters. We've got DeMassey at the line on the season, 96 of 127. That's 76%. Eddie, real quick, when Peoples checked in, I saw him put in a mouthpiece, as many NBA players do. I wouldn't be surprised, and I have seen more high school kids do it, wouldn't be surprised if in the next 5 years that becomes a requirement to wear the mouthpiece to prevent the broken teeth or the concussion. Right. Second shot, no good. 45-43. Irvington by Seton Hall by 2, excuse me. Brunson for 2, around and out.
Hahn again.
Ricciardi has done the bulk of the work for bringing the ball up since Peterson has been on the bench. Into Gore, in the paint, banks it home, Troy Gore.
Biggest lead for Seton Hall today, 4 points.
47-43, and now Larry Blasi wants a timeout. So the Blue Knights use their first timeout. It's a 4-point Seton Hall lead. Seton Hall passing the ball around well, and they're going to find Troy Gore.
Driving underneath, look at that move. He kind of snaked his way under armpits there and got in and made the layup.
Between 3 different players.
4-point lead, and that's the biggest lead of the game for the Seton Hall Prep Club.
Seton Hall with their assistant coaches Pete Butler, TJ Whitaker, and Marty Berman. 17-3 this year. Seton Hall is tied with Bloomfield for 4th on the list of most appearances in the ECT final with 8, behind Shabazz, East Orange, and Orange. And with their 101st game played in the ECT today, they tie Shabazz for the 2nd most games played in the tournament at 101 games. East Orange has played in 107. Back to action, 47-43.
Irvington trying to regroup here, looking for a good shot, and Seton Hall never changed. DeMassey put his hands on him.
That was Hahn, 31.
Was it Hahn? Yes, you're right.
That'll be his 2nd. Foul trouble, DeMassey 3, Peterson 3 for Seton Hall. For Irvington, Spencer 3, Whitaker 3, and Peoples with 4.
And Peoples is on the line right now. Pretty good outside shooter.
10 points. He's got 2 3-pointers, but he misses the 1-and-1.
The line drive that ball up there that time. Foul shots are coming back to haunt them.
Yeah, it's true. 1-and-1s will be the key down the stretch. Off of Seton Hall. Ricciardi dribbled it out. Free throw shooting will tell the story in this one, and if so, it favors Seton Hall at this point.
That's correct. Usually does tell the story in high school ball games, especially tournament games. 2 pretty evenly matched teams. Seton Hall playing that, as I've said before, that tough man-to-man. They refuse. They never went to zone. They never went to press. They just play a man-to-man.
Brunson has 10 points. That's near his average of 16. Teal too far from the left side, out of bounds, off DeMassey. Spencer will come in. Replaces Teal.
Teal's been kind of quiet the whole second half.
Yeah, he's only had 8 points, only 2 in the second half. Peoples for 3, it's short.
Ooh.
Three-pointer on the way, around and out for DeSanti. 4-point Seton Hall lead, 47-43. Peoples for three, off the iron, gets his own miss, and he draws the foul on the floor on the push.
I thought he was hurt there for a minute, but he's all right.
And I believe it's going to be a shooting foul.
Oh, yeah.
For DeSanti, that is his first personal. Peoples is 2 for 3 from the line tonight. 4-point ball game, 4:29 to go.
Down to 2. And here comes that Irvington press. You know, Riccardi's done a good job getting the ball up the floor.
An excellent job in the second half. And Eddie, as soon as we say that, Peterson getting ready to come in, and yes, Gore did step on the sideline. Excellent call made by Bob Lauderhan. So Peterson is back in. It's Peterson, Ricciardi, Gore, Hahn, and DeMasi. Peoples, blocking foul. He'll go to the line. Third on Gore. Here's a look at it.
Let's take a look. It could be a charge or a blocking foul. Well, they call it a blocking foul.
Yeah, I thought he was still sliding over.
Yeah.
Ever so slowly, trying to get in the way of the shooter. Peoples will shoot 2. He is a 55% free throw shooter, but doing much better this evening. He is 5 of 6. Averages 12. He's already got 14.
Tie ball game.
47 all.
Here we go. 4 minutes to go. It's a 4-minute game now.
And Peterson is back in. Whitaker is guarding him. Brunson is guarding Ricciardi. Ricciardi in deep. He'll back it away into Brunson. Kicks it back outside. It was interesting. Irvington didn't play this tight a defense when Peterson was on the bench. But now that he's back in, they're back to that real tight D.
Yes, they are.
Left corner to Hahn.
Irvington hustling on that defense. Seton Hall possessing the ball a little bit, looking for that good shot.
3:20 to go. Tied at 47. Ricciardi will launch it for 3. Short. Hahn tries to tip it up. And a 1-and-1 at the other end. The foul is called against Hahn. That is his 3rd.
So that's Peterson, DeMasi, and Hahn all with 3, correct?
That is correct. Still no danger. Gore also has 3 for Seton Hall. Barnett at the line. This will be his first free throw attempt tonight. He is a 75% shooter. If you want to foul someone on Irvington, you foul Peoples or Spencer and even Teal.
You don't foul Peoples tonight.
That's true. Although on statistics, they're all in the 50s. Second shot does not go for Barnett. 1-point Irvington lead, 48-47. We went into the quarter, tied at 40. DeMasi in deep, banks it off the glass, left baseline.
He's tough inside. He's like I say, not a real pivot man, but he's a scorer.
Seton Hall leads by 1. Peoples from 13, short. Hahn with the rebound. He has done a big job under the boards tonight for the Prep. Peterson lost the dribble, got it ahead to Ricciardi. Off the foot, But first, a reach-in foul called on Spencer. That is 4 on Damian Spencer.
Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at the backcourt. Here it is. He goes down right there. It looks like the ball's loose. He comes back with it. They get it again now. Right about here, Spencer gets him.
And we've got a timeout.
1 point ball game, 2 minutes. 28 seconds to go. 26 seconds.
49-48, Seton Hall leads by 1. I'm Paul Spahala, with me Ed Lyons. Second half of the ECT doubleheader, Montclair against Scott. Steve Tober and Art Polakowski will be on the call of that one.
There hasn't been much real strategy in this one. Seton Hall has stayed the whole game with that hard-nosed man-to-man defense. And the only strategy, Irvington did come up at the beginning of the second half with a tougher press, and they got all over Peterson, and McCarty had to bring the ball up, and he's done all right.
Last week, Irvington was only 17 of 59 from the floor, and I got to tell you, I don't have the stats in front of me, but they are not shooting much better tonight.
Come back to haunt them. At that one stretch there when Seton Hall came 7 times without getting a shot, Irvington couldn't put the ball in the ocean. And
yeah, Irvington did not put the ball away then. They got a few points on free throws. They missed a couple underneath.
Missed a couple of free throws too, huh?
Exactly. So they had a big chance there in the early third quarter to put Seton Hall out of it. But Seton Hall came back to tie it at 40 all at the end of the quarter. And right now it's 49-48. Seton Hall leads by 1.
It's a pretty good foul shooter on the line.
Ricciardi, a sophomore, has 10 points. His average is 10.9 on the season.
How many of them come from the line?
8.
1 field goal. 11 points and 1 field goal, 9 foul shots.
He is 9 of 10 from the line. Don't foul him late. 51-48. Who would you want to foul if you're Irvington? Foul Bill Hahn. Brunson with the shots. Brunson's got 12.
Yet Bill Hahn's been hitting that outside 3, or he did early. 1 point ball game, Peterson and Brunson. Just
off of door, much too high for him.
Yep. Good defense by Brunson that time. He was all over him.
We are under 2 minutes. 51-50.
Irvington plays like they just think that somehow they're going to win.
Why not? They've won 14 in a row in the county tournament. Ramadan Brunson with 14 points. Irvington by 1.
I guess that would give you confidence.
Ricciardi off the iron. Peoples with the rebound.
They almost lost it.
And they do.
Yep.
Whitaker bounced it off the heel of Barnett.
Let's take a look. There's a shot going up. They got it. They almost lost it right there. Now watch. Majik has the ball.
Peterson for 3. Peterson for 3.
A big, big 3.
54-52. Brunson for 3 at the other end.
You can do it, I can do it.
55-54. And then Whitaker called for the foul.
Not a good foul.
That is his 4th. So Peterson put Seton Hall up by 2. But then Irvington and Brunson came back. And now Irvington leads by 1.
What kind of foul shooter is Peterson?
Peterson is 76%. He is 0 for 1 tonight.
Oh for 2, he line drived it up there.
The Hall down by 1, excuse me. Irvington by 1. Under 1 minute.
There's what we talk about, that 1-and-1, you got to make them.
Brunson before the shot. The foul called against DeMasi.
Number 4. Well, down the other end, Peterson missed the 1-and-1. Let's see what Brunson does up here.
Well, Brunson has missed 5 in a row at the line after making 5 in a row.
Been up there 10 times.
So he's on that streak.
Over the front rim, he got the roll.
He's got 18 points. It's a 2-point ball game. Remember, he must get this one to keep it a 1-possession ball game.
You got it.
3-point ball game. Seton Hall has 1 timeout. Irvington has 2.
Well, we're going down the wire. Here we go.
34 seconds. Ricciardi for 3. Got it. Steve Ricciardi.
What can I tell you?
Tied at 57. And
They'll go
Irvington
for 1 shot.
with 20 seconds. They're not going to call the timeout. 20 seconds.
They'll go for 1.
15. 11. Whitaker to Barnett. 6 seconds. Teal hits it with 4 seconds to go. Timeout Seton Hall. 3 seconds to go. Timeout Seton Hall.
I told you they were a hairbreadth Harry club.
Roosevelt Teal with 10 points.
And
Only 4 in the second half.
And that's his shot right there.
Those were his first
Let's take a
points
look at
of
it.
the quarter. They work the ball around.
Right over there. He hits from right over there. We've seen him do it 3 different times in 3 different games. A big bucket. Now.
This is not the NBA. You don't inbound it at half court.
No, you don't. And you don't foul here. You don't want to put him on the line with a 45-foot shot. So they got to get it up the floor. I somehow think they'll try to get it into DeMasi at the middle of the court.
Yeah, they almost have to get the pass to midcourt
Because
you don't want to waste time on the dribble.
Right. I'm thinking they'll bust DeMasi up into the center court post, as you would call it, and try to give him the ball there.
Now Seton Hall is out of timeout, so they don't have the luxury of seeing how Irvington will set up and then doing it all over again. What a great semifinal.
This Irvington club, they were on the brink of defeat last week. They were on the brink of victory, then defeat, and they came back there. They're putting Teal on. No, DeMasi's going to throw the ball in. I was altogether wrong.
Massey will inbound it, and then I guess they'll look to get the ball back to him.
Maybe Ricciardi.
Peterson off his fingertips. Brunson has it, and Irvington will be going to the championship game. 59-57, the final score. The Blue Knights, for the 4th consecutive season, are going to the ECT final. We are going to take our break, and we'll be back with our post-game right after this.
Hell of a game.
(59-57), Irvington wins, and for the 4th year they will head to the ECT championship game. Ramadan Brunson, great second half for you, but free throw shooting was a problem for this team, especially for yourself. What happened there in the 3rd quarter?
In the 3rd quarter, my legs was getting a little tired. and I couldn't get no rhythm to shoot the ball, so it's just coming in and out. So,
Some great passing from you all night long. You're always looking for the open man.
of course, my players, they like to roll in the middle, so when I drive, they know I'm going to give them the ball. So.
You really didn't take that many shots from outside today, but after Peterson drilled his three-pointer, you came right back and said, I can do the same thing.
I had to. He tried to show me up, so I had to bang the three right back at him.
Real quick, defense, you were tight on him the whole third quarter. Was that something the coach told you in the locker room?
Oh, yeah. We tried that in practice yesterday. Last night, I was dreaming about playing D, so I had to step up on defense and in the end, put my offense up, and we won.
Rob and I will see you next week. Larry, step on in here. Larry, what was the plan for the defense coming out in the second half?
Well, to pick it up, we were sloppy the first half. Our offense wasn't falling. The defense wasn't bad. I think we held them to 28 points. We did what we had to do. They beat us back in our own game with some fast breaks, and I think they must have had 9 points on the foul line. I can't complain about that. I said the fouls aren't going to go our way, and we just got to play through it. We shot terrible again. We missed the chippies. It should have been a 10-point game without any problems. But again, it got down to defense. I said that no team can stay with us because the condition we're in, that you got to do it and don't give up threes. And what do? We give up a three.
Speaking of condition, we know that Damian came in with a little bit of tonsillitis, but it really didn't show. He played a great game, especially in the first half.
Yeah, he was, but he was sucking wind at halftime. He wasn't feeling well, and he wasn't leaping like he usually leaps. But I got the time out of him. He said, when they want to play, we're the only team that's going to beat ourselves. I just think that's.
You've got that George Seifert look now, and that you've got to get to the final just because Bill Walsh did all those years, but now you're in the final.
Well, it's fun being there. Hopefully our games won't get canceled next week, so we hadn't played in a week, so we're a little stiff with our shooting. We worked a lot in practice, but hopefully we'll be able to play the 2 scheduled games for this week.
Larry, go tell the kids the bad news. The Camden game is off for Saturday.
That's something that the AD set up that we didn't set up, and they're very happy. And again, I've had to put up with Rom since he was in 7th grade, and I've been saying it all along. I've seen a lot of basketball, but he's the most gifted player I've seen when it comes down at the end of the game between the lines. He wants the ball, and he knows what to do with it.
Excellent job. Larry, we'll see you in the final next week. Again, on Saturday, Irvington was scheduled to play Camden, but obviously that one goes by the boards now because they will be in the final next week. And as Larry said, they did it with some very good defense, especially in the third quarter. They didn't take advantage of it that much, but they did play great defense.
Exactly. They changed their defense a little bit. They tried to deny Peterson the ball, and they were successful in doing that, and they had a chance to put him away right there. I think you said it. There was 7 times down the floor without getting a shot, and they missed when they got the ball, they missed a bunch of layups and putbacks, and they started to miss from the foul line. Seton Hall got back in the game and came very close to winning it.
And that will do it for our coverage of this first semifinal. The Mounties and the Scotties are out on the floor. One of them has got to try to stop Irvington from going for 4 in a row. For Headlines, I'm Paul Spahala. Again, the final score of this first semifinal from Essex County College. Irvington 59, Seton Hall Prep 57. We hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you next Saturday for the ECT Finals.